Okay, I think this is working. This is my Capstone visual showcase. Today I'll be going over VR, AI, and IoT. Starting off with VR, some of its key features is its immersion, interaction, sensory feedback, and just simulation. When it comes to immersion, it creates a sense of presence within a computer-generated environment, making you feel like you're actually there. Um, but when it comes to that, even allows you to interact with it. You while you're in it, you can interact with it, and you even get sensory feedback like sight and sound and touch. The one thing with all VR setups is that there's some kind of replication of real world or imagined scenarios when you're within that world. VR is something that I personally use, and I think it's a pretty cool thing. Most use cases for VR is gaming entertainment. Um, it's from going around, playing different missions, storytelling, or sometimes you're able to even just tour around and talk, have fun, and talk with people. One of the things I personally use this for, though, I like to use flight simulators with VR. You can get a whole flight set up, and it can be pretty interactive. But you can also use this for surgical training, emergency response drills, and just virtual prototyping. When it comes to that, education and learning is also one of the key features with it. Um, as I said before, kind of going a little back a little bit, you can use it for surgical training. It's starting to become a little bit more popular. That and one of the main things that my roommates actually use this for is design and architecture. Um, as as you already get the 3D model for most of the architecture, whenever you're working on a project or planning to build something, it's not that hard to actually import it into VR and get a a feeling that or like a view of your design in person. But um, this also can be used for healthcare, from what I've read online, and pain management, rehabilitation, and therapy. It's I'm not I don't know too much about that, but it is something that is starting to pick up, especially over in the western states like California. Some of the implications of VR is it revolutionizes the entertainment field. It allows you to do more engaging entertaining. You can ride roller coasters. You can go and you can go play games, or you can just go and talk to people online in VR. Um, it's also transforming education and training. It's been enhancing collaboration and communication with other people, as being able to interact with other virtual groups in virtual spaces that you would usually never talk to in real life. Um, that and it's pretty accessible. Even all they have different modes from standing to sitting. You can do practically it all wherever you want, as long as you have space to move around a little bit. That and as I said before, you can go and talk to people, so it definitely has a social impact. To the right, that little picture, that is actually one of my friend's projects that he worked on architecture on. One of the main challenges and limitations with VR is definitely the cost. Um, to the right, there's some pictures of VRs, and their prices. It is expensive. This is the base cost to be able to get into it. After that, you can stay how you want. But if you do want to get like a full body or something like that, but I don't have that. But it starts going up there, and you're gonna spend at least 1,000 if you want to go all in on this. Um, some of the other things is the technical limitations. You have motion sickness, the displays, field of view, and just some of the cumbersome hardware. It's a newer technology. It is still a work in progress. That and due to it being so recent, most of the content for it has been pretty relaxed. Either that or like the games and all the other apps on it haven't really had time to be able to produce really high quality content yet. And one of the many things is the no ethical considerations that come with most new technologies, privacy, your virtual identity, and then the blurring. And for many people, actually blurs their reality. Some of the future directions is definitely improved hardware. So there's already a couple new of the new VRs that recently got released or currently in production. This includes just higher resolution, it being comfortable, lighter, battery being enhanced, and there's even some more sensory feedback, like adding smell and taste, which is something that is would be very interesting. Um, as I said before, with it being more new, the content creation tools have not been fully developed yet. It is not something that has fully progressed, and it's something that is being worked on. But while when that keeps going on, the VR can be used more for entertainment. That and there's already talks about it being integrated with other technologies like AI, for example, which I'll be going over shortly. This will definitely help speed up the progress with hardware and the content creation tools. But as VR keeps going on, the metaverse that they're building is growing with it too. Now, stepping away from VR and going to AI, some of its key features are recognition, which allows it to identify complex patterns and relationships with large data sets. That and mainly what I use it for, or my most use, is for problem solving, using learned knowledge to solve new problems and make decisions. I currently work at Sherwin-Williams Network Services team, and I can tell you for sure that AI over there is one of the most used things on the team. It gets used a lot, especially when it comes to automation, which is the next thing. Um, ma- ma- Using AI for very simple tools um, it needs is made us on network services be able to focus more entirely on actual bigger projects, allowing us to expand our network. One of the many tools on it is the natural language processing, which allows you to switch between different languages very easily. It has good computer vision, enabling machines to see and interpret images and videos. Some of the reasons and interference, like drawing logical conclusions from available information. Most used cases for this recently is healthcare. Basically, with diagnostics, drug discovery, personalized medicine, and robotic surgery. I've actually used AI myself for personalized medicine. Um, try that and trying to figure out what foods would be healthy for me to eat. It's also been used in finance, transportation, of course, manufacturing, retail, and security as well. Um, many different ways that these are used in the field right now. Um, One of the main things I've been seeing is definitely the security with the threat detection and facial recognition. Um, that gets used a lot. Um, it's almost a daily life incorporated in everyone, and it's only going to keep being used. Some implications is the increased automation efficiency. That definitely gets used a lot. Allows us to work on it a lot more. Another thing is improved decision making. Allows us to get a lot more different data and be able to put together to make the best choice possible. We can get a lot of personalized experiences, tailoring product, services, and content to that individual needs. Um, that and driving innovation. These things come up with pretty cool ideas. It can establish new products, services, and even business models. But and one of the other things is definitely the potential economic disruption. The impact of the labor market in the real world, needing for workplace remaining. There's not AI is always going to need someone to be able to watch them, which is one of the many topics that I mainly see against it. It's definitely not perfect, and it definitely needs some kind of supervision. Some of the challenges and limitations when it comes to AI is definitely data requirements. You need a lot of storage, you need a lot of processing. It is definitely something that it uses a lot. Um, as we keep going forward, of course, we'll get new technologies that allow us to make them smaller and cheaper. But as the current moment, the data requirements are pretty large. The one thing that one of the many things is its biasness and fairness. It doesn't have a human conception yet or anything like that of the sort. So it can't really figure out some things that us as humans would logically think would be the right case scenario. Um, we do not. AI does not really explain. It gives out answers and it doesn't actually really respond to reason why. It is definitely something that's being currently worked on and it's slowly being improved, but we don't understand why AI gives that answer. It kind of lose. One of the biggest reason is ethical concerns. AI is something that is being blasted everywhere. A lot of places, like for example, school, do not allow it to be used. Other places, like workplaces, are starting to actually incorporate them, but they're still keeping it very heavily restricted. Um, AI right now, it's some some of the things you can do with it is not ethical, and it sometimes and people don't really see that in a good light. One of the many other issues is resources. The amount of resources that it pulls is a lot. It can, if you're running it just on a normal system, it will take over and pull a lot of resources. And over, and the biggest issue that kind of relates back to ethical concerns is over reliance and de-skilling of people. People use AI a lot. I personally do not like to use it that often. I do use it every now and then to search up mainly just what songs or who sings which song or what the song name is. But that's about it though. Some of the future directions is explainable AI, which allows the AI model to actually provide clear and understandable explanations for their decisions. They also have federated learning, enabling collaborative AI training across decentralized databases while preserving privacy. One of the most things I think will be cool is neuromorphic computing, developing AI hardware that mimics the structure of the functions of the human brain for more efficient AI processing. And then the last one, human AI collaboration, development systems where human and AI work together seamlessly, leveraging the strengths of both. Um, you, human AI and neuromorphic are some things that I think will most likely be something that coming out pretty soon from some of the things I've been seeing. I'm just worried more about the healthcare side of that. That is it for AI. Now on to IoT. Some of the key features are connectivity, sensor, and actuators, data collection and analysis, automatic and control enabling remote monitoring, scalability, and cloud integration. IoT is a very large field and it is something that I am constantly working on while working in networking. And I feel like it is something that is being used everywhere possible. Most of the use case situations with this is smart homes. Being able to, almost every device nowadays has some kind of app that you're able to download on your phone and be able to connect to. This can be from lighting, security, to just even my air fryer. Um, this, this is also being used in industrial locations, like allowing asset tracking, processing, optimization, and manufacturing. UPS and Amazon are using these wherever they can to track your uh, shipments. Smart cities are actually starting to be developed. Um, some of them, most of them have been more uh, on the smaller side with like on smart grids, but basically getting more intelligent traffic lights, environmental monitoring, and public safety. Healthcare is definitely one of the things that's being mainly on sensors and trackers on medical devices to be able to keep patients always monitored. Agriculture is one of the other things. Precision farming, livestock monitoring, and automated irrigation. And lastly, the transportation, connected vehicles, fleet management, and logistics optimization. Some of the many implications when it comes to IoT is its increased efficiency and productivity. Um, you get a lot of you can whenever this gets used in the field, or when this was being mainly developed, the first people that jumped at it were corporate entities. That we saw how much more efficient things can be, and how we can make ourselves more productive. Quality of life is also one of the many things, like in the house. Having being able to control devices even when you're away, or for example, your car. You have the car. Almost all the new cars nowadays, you can start it from your phone, lock it, do whatever you need. Um, One of the many things is data-driven insights, providing valuable and data for businesses and individuals to make informed decisions. Some new business and models and services as well. And lastly, environmental monitoring and sustainability. Some of its challenges and limitation is definitely security vulnerabilities. With more devices being able to interconnect with each other, that is more possibilities and more threats that people can use to hack into or break into. Um, pri- Going with that is definitely the privacy concerns. When you share all this information with each other, everything is interconnected. Everything has your data. It is hard to actually go like to get to get privacy nowadays due to that. Data management and analysis. The amount of data that it has to run through is can be very challenging, and sometimes it's not able to handle that. It will overload and cause many different issues. But the one good thing about it is reliability and connectivity. Everything can connect with each other, but the one issue with that is that a lot of with a lot of devices being connected with each other, there needs to be a larger system in place to be able to manage them. That and with IoT being added to almost every device, power needs have just skyrocketed. Some of the future directions for IoT is to secure more robust platforms, as I said before, with a lot more devices being added. Um,
Oh yeah. Oh
Sorry about that. Basically, with the more secure platforms, it is becoming very harder. We need we need larger platforms to be able to help process and hold all the information there. One of the other things is edge computing for faster processing. We need faster processing to be able to run all our devices that we now have interconnected. Artificial intelligence is one of the things that are being incorporated with it, and standardizing and interoperability. One of the other cool things is low power wide area networks, or LPWANs. Those things are being added, and they are haven't seen too much of them yet, but it is definitely something that I've heard about being incorporated soon. That and self healing and autonomous IoT device systems, mainly like on equipment like spacecraft and like naval vessels. Um, Being able to have self healing capabilities would help with the devices that usually break pretty often. That is it. Thank you.